Hey everybody, this is John Courtney at Village Wealth Advisors, and when you're ready to retire, we're the ones to hire. I've been working with retirees now for almost 20 years, and I can tell you one of the questions I'm getting a lot from my clients right now is, when is the next recession? Now, I don't know if you realize it, but it's been 18 years since the last recession. The last real recession, let's call it. We technically had a recession during COVID, but the last real recession was the Great Recession in 2008, which is a horrible example because that was an example of a recession that was really a busting of the economy. It wasn't really a normal recession, it was a break. The financial sector broke because the bubble that had built up in the housing market, that bubble popped. And it popped so big that it broke the financial sector. That breaking of the financial sector had a contagion that brought down the entire global economy. That's not what a normal recession is meant to do. That's a bust. And what we're hoping for is that the next recession, which is really inevitable, it's not a question of if it happens, it's a question of when it happens. We want and we hope that the next recession acts more like a cleansing fire and less like a bust, like a breaking of the economy, okay? Now, the key to look for in the next recession is there a sector of the economy that is going to break, that's going to have a contagion effect on other areas of the economy? So think of yourselves as an entrepreneur for a second. Collectively, if the majority of the entrepreneurs in this country are looking at the future going, I think my business is likely to grow, then they will invest in growth in their company. They'll hire people, they'll buy machinery, they'll rent additional space. All of those decisions are growth creating decisions. Now, what happens in a recession is collectively those entrepreneurs start making decisions not to invest in growth. Instead, they look ahead 2-3 years and go, you know what? My business might not grow. My business might shrink or stay the same. Instead of hiring that next person or buying that next piece of machinery or leasing more space, I'm going to keep more cash on hand. And so when one entrepreneur does that, it has a tiny little impact. When 100 entrepreneurs do it, it has a little bigger impact. When thousands of entrepreneurs do it, we have a recession. And that's okay. That's part of the cycle. But when an area of the economy, like the housing market, or maybe this time around, AI tech companies, when all of a sudden they stop making decisions to invest in growth, the dollar amounts are much bigger. And that's what can create a bubble popping, breaking of the economy, busting of the economy. What we want to look for is how invested and how enmeshed are the financial sectors of our economy with the exposure to that bubble, okay? Now, up until very recently, it hasn't been that big of a deal because most of the investment has been on the stock side. But one of the big pieces of news lately has been the tech bonds that have been being issued for decades out. If the financial sector starts being overinvested in these fixed income instruments, that can be part of the contagion. The other part of the contagion that I'm looking for is cryptocurrency. I am not a believer in cryptocurrency, and I believe that the next recession is probably going to do away with the cryptocurrency market. If our financial sector is overexposed to cryptocurrency and it does go bust, okay, that is the type of thing that could break the financial system and turn the next recession into a bust rather than just a normal cleansing recession. If you, your friends, or family have any questions about how a coming recession might affect your financial security, your profile, please reach out to us. My name is John Courtney, and here at Village Wealth Advisors, when you're ready to retire, we're the ones to hire.